we had to do something about it. They were facing quite a lot of anxieties. I mean, taking a board exam by itself is stressful. And being locked down with the lack of clarity, the need for us to continuously prepare. There's also incidences of domestic violence between parents and perhaps some of them experiencing abuse themselves. A lot of the parents, especially in the disadvantaged communities, have lost their livelihoods due to the lockdown. We had to do something about it. And so we spoke to UNICEF, we spoke to the government of Tamil Nadu, the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Could we move to the next slide, please? We decided that we're going to make this into something which is very inclusive. We need to look at scale. We need to look at a methodology which can reach all the population, all the population of students who might be attempting board exams. This was the process that we followed. We decided that we're going to make a 4 to 6 minute story. Each of these stories would be dramatized tellings of the kind of challenges that a 15-year-old might be going through today. But can we give them coping strategies, ideas, and activities that they can do, which will help them ease their pain, ease their fears, and make it easy for them to survive and be still optimistic and positive till the exams are still conducted. We also realized that a lot of them may not have a smartphone. So this solution was made as an integrated voice response system, wherein a student could give a missed call to 9266617888, and a call would be placed back to their own mobile phone, and they would hear a story every day, a new story every day for the next 30 days. The program was launched on the 17th of May. Each day, they would have different kinds of activities, and all of them were made funny, interesting, happy, quirky, a lot of references to Vadivel comedy. There was typically 3 characters who played the most of drama. So you had the child who's going to the 10th standard exams, her younger brother, the most mischievous and naughty one, and a neighborhood akka, who was perhaps the mentor and somebody who would clarify things for the girl who's taking the 10th standard exam. Every day we had issues of children that we hear from the community being presented to them. But it also provided us opportunities for us to discuss how they can use positive affirmations, how can they use journal writing, how can they use writing of stories and poetry, how can they look at building ideas on mindfulness and using meditation, on Surya Namaskar. How can they be provided exam tips? How can they remember? How can they be stress-free? These were all strategies that were used while during the program. It was quite a drama to get these produced during lockdown. In fact, all our production crew, the writers, our directors, the children who acted and gave voice, all of them had to do this inside their own homes through their own mobile phones. And we had an edit suite and an editor and a voice recordist and a singer and even a musician, all playing their part from their own homes. And finally, an editor who would edit this into one piece, and this audio file going to Gramvani in Gurgaon before it gets into the mobile IVRS platform. It was quite a mammoth, laborious exercise, to say the least. Could we move to the next slide? Before we started the exercise, we also want to understand what could we expect as the outcome. Our objective was to really look at specifically addressing the well-being of children whom we are trying to address. We did a baseline survey. We reached out to 9,547 respondents, perhaps a little more too. We used the publicly available tool, the Short-Warwick Edinburgh Met Wellbeing Scale, to understand what do children feel currently and in the last 2 weeks. What was very surprising and quite expected, but it was very telling when children express it and when you hear it from them, that they're just not relaxed enough. They are not able to relate with their own family members. There was a huge absence of their access to teachers, their own friends. They couldn't meet their own peers. They just couldn't make up their mind about things. They were still wrapping their heads around what's happening around them. There was a lot of a lack of clarity. And incomes were a problem in most of these homes. So these were all challenges. Cut to today, the program had its run for 30 days, and the program of the first phase ended on the 16th of June. We're very excited to tell you that we've had 128,035 students who called in to listen to these stories. We've had over 4,000 children who left their own feedback of what worked for them, what do they want, what are their challenges, what are their fears. We had to reach a large population through calls, automated calls, and SMSs. 23 lakhs calls were placed into these various populations across Tamil Nadu. It was a huge exercise, and we had to pull this through sitting at our own homes and working with different kinds of partners to pull it through. Can we have to the next slide, please? I'll want to leave and close the presentation before I could take on questions. These are three interesting feedback. One, really appreciating our program. And I was personally, I mean, especially when we're reaching a large disadvantaged population, learning is all, and the access to learning and the tools that we need to use need to be at their level. It needs to be child friendly also. But we need to make sure that we're not dumbing down. We need to make sure that they can learn better and apply that learning in an everyday situation. We're very, very excited when children would call and leave a message and say, we used journaling today. We did Surya Namaskar today. I did positive affirmations today. I did an origami boat today. Those were all very, very exciting. But there were also others who were very, very concerned, and some of them telling us, please postpone it, and we don't want the exams to be conducted. One funny thing, a lot of these younger brothers, they were quite bored, and a lot of our children had to deal with, they were all living in small homes in very, very limited space for their own private study. And a lot of noise is being created by other family members, either watching television or doing other things. So one of them talking about, my brother's getting bored and I'm not able to study, so I'm just looking at the TV along with him. These were interesting times. And so we had to come with something which is very innovative, something that would reach the child exactly directly. Currently, we are involved in doing the endline survey and also to understand more qualitatively what was the expectation and did it meet the expectation, and is there something that we can learn from it. This exercise will also inform us if we need to continue this program. I don't see schools opening before the end of the year. And if we need to address that adolescent population, or if we need to address the younger children population, especially children who do not have access to devices, which perhaps can offer some kind of learning, especially younger children who do not, it's not advisable for them to look at devices. And devices just doesn't include mobile phones. It includes the television also, anything that is visual. And with the lack of any connectedness to other children, it could be detrimental. So we're really looking at the possibility of these programs being continued at least till end of the year. We're looking for ideas. We're looking for suggestions from you all, and we'll be happy to hear and which can be incorporated in the program. Thank you, Yashaswini and Vedika, for this opportunity. I can take any questions if.
Thanks so much, Sriram. I think we have a couple of minutes for a couple of quick questions that have come in. One is particularly exciting. Do you think Vadivel jokes are still relevant to children today? Do they not have icons and trends that they would rather listen to more? I've taken the liberty of paraphrasing a question that came in.
Sure. I mean, okay, so let me be honest. I think those typical dialogues in the way Vadivel would say it were used primarily to accentuate that mode and bring in some more liveliness to a very serious conversation. That was the primary objective. There was a lot of ideas and inspiration from important stories and messages that are useful to them, but these were just to bring in a little more humor into something which is very, very serious. So that's
right.
it.
Right, perfect. I think that brings us to a perfect finish at 15:20 p.m. Thank you so much for joining us, Sriram. In case anyone has any other questions, we're happy to reach out to Sriram offline. We do look at being in touch with all of you even after the 2 days at Kural, so it would be our pleasure. Thanks so much, Sriram, for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me, and best wishes for the afternoon and tomorrow.
Thank you so much.